Yeah, it's a crazy story. Tom and I have just met about 10 days ago for the first time, even though we've been working together. We've been talking for about 4 years. We started the company about 3 years ago. We started delivering products almost 2 years ago, about 20 months ago. And all of this entire time, until 10 days ago, we never met. It's a crazy story, but this is something where really it comes back to our foundational mission and values, tied us together and gave us such a strong foundation for taking a product out to market and for committing in for expectations, for our promises and expectations that we give to our users, that it's really tied us together almost like brothers. And it's been a very surreal process to get back through that from a meeting standpoint. The last 10 days have been crazy. It's been kind of a waking dream kind of going through this after 4 years of all of this talking and all of this work, really building up for something that has been so impactful for so many people.
And during these 4 years of working together remotely, we've had a number of people come join the team. Forrest has met a few of them, I've met a few of them, but then finally meeting together, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And being able to sit face to face, not in a 2D space anymore, in actual 3D, face to face, has been really, really inspiring. And people have said, "Oh, do you guys still get on? Do you still want to talk to each other?" And yes, we've known each other's families since we started talking. Forrest, baby boy, is now running around throwing balls, doing amazing things. I've had a second child, and they know Uncle Forrest and they know Uncle Tom, and we get on really well. And we look forward to spending more time with our teams all around the world. And next week we'll be in London. We're going to meet some more team members that have been working with us for over a year and 2 years, and we're going to have a great time with them as well. So it's really important to know that in this world, we can do anything. We can build and create and become anything we want. Don't let a lack of resources stop you from achieving your dreams and stopping for you from actually building on something that's really inspiring and really taking a presence in the world of over-delivering. And by having this remote experience that we've had over the last 4 years, there's not a lot of companies in the world that can say they've created multiple millions of sales and multiple millions of company valuation and still deliver product and then still have and maintain a solid relationship, and that overfills into all of our community and all of our team. Since when we first started talking about collaborating, we realized that we wanted to bring this human approach. It's really, we have this one life, we can do anything we want to do. And as Forrest has just mentioned, we've both worked within a sort of a more B2B process, a more financially driven businesses in previous operations we've had. And this company we wanted to set up that really focused on the community. It really focused on helping people's quality of people's life improve and become the best version they can do. And that's about us becoming the best version that we can do. And that's part of a journey. And it's not just for our community, it's also for our team. And so for us, the bringing in the pain to possible journey has been so important, because in 3 simple words, it really epitomizes everything we are achieving, we have achieved, and we're going to continue to achieve, both for our community of our customers and stakeholders, and internally for our team. And that doesn't mean that everybody's perfect and we're trying to be perfect. That means every day we're trying to be a 1% better. We're trying to look at the things we've established and quantify, can we do it better? How do we help each other become better versions of ourselves? How do we help the community and the customers that buy the products and use the products get better quality of life? And so our shared values at that foundational level, and really understanding that shared values at the foundational level, as far as I mentioned, we aren't the same people, we are different people, we have many shared passions and many shared loves, but also different in other areas, but our values essentially stem from a foundation of very, very similar, very, very close proximity. And so building that from those very early calls on day one, for long distance calls I have to say, has allowed us to really recruit through that, build products through that, and now inspire over 25,000 customers to date achieve that through their own journey as well.
We're investing in a team of world-class experts, and we've been very fortunate so far to be able to expand our team. Our expansion of the team has really been based on being able to deliver real results, but the commitment with the team is that, and I think it's a very unusual way of approaching the problem, is find the best people in the world for every single seat that we have. So whether that's our chief technology officer, our chief marketing officer, our chief financial officer, all the way down through our sales and support, through our technical team, through our product team, we're finding the best people in the world, regardless of where they are, and we're using new tools to help stitch them together and build powerful operational teams around this. And so it's been a super exciting way to address this problem. I think our hypothesis around this problem is that we can use the tools that exist to be able to improve and build a world-class organization without consideration for the geography of it. No two people are in the same place, because we've really said we don't want to find the best person in New York, or we don't want to find the best researcher in California. We want to find the best person in the world, and we've filled all of our seats based on this kind of core ethos, and it's been challenging. There are things that being apart kind of limits, and we've been fortunate enough to bring some of our team together for off-site visits, and it's been super powerful. We really have top-tier, world-class players in every seat, and what that does, though, is it sets a culture of success and a culture of excellence, and we don't accept the idea of not measuring our outcomes, and so that's core to our mission. So we set very strong goals and targets for every member of the team, and we've been, again, lucky enough to be able to find a way to fight through the challenges and really set a culture of excellence within Kineon. That's an excellent question, and it breaks down into 3 separate parts, which are core to our strategy for how we operate our company. The first one is product and technology. We've invested very heavily with assumptions that if we can reduce the price of clinical level devices and still provide clinical level outcomes, that this is a technology that people will adopt in their homes. We have also made the assumption that if we can reduce friction points for people for in-home use, so making this device, instead of having a large desktop device, something that's wearable, that's portable, and that's travel friendly, that it's going to help people build habits. And we really push our users to do habit stacking with other key habits that they have already identified in their lives. And we do have a couple of jokes about it internally, though, as they oftentimes, when you're asking users what their habits are that they'd like to stack this with, they're using aspirational habits like meditation or working out. And if you ask them, how many times have you done that historically over the last 2 weeks, you might get 1 or 2. So one of the things that we really coach people into is using pragmatic habits. So this could be even something like Netflix and Cheetos, as long as you're doing it every day. For me personally, I do this with coffee and emails in the morning because I do that every morning. So anything that you really do every day from a pragmatic standpoint that you can look back over the last 2 weeks and say, I did that every day, this is a great way to start building habit stacking and get them out of pain and into the best life they can live.
Following on from that, the second area that we really focus on is building out this community. And the Kineon community is really close to both of our hearts and all of our team internally. And right from the very start, we knew that providing our stakeholders, anybody interested in our product, anyone interested in overcoming pain, going from that pain to possible, we had to bring them together and allow them to be able to communicate with each other, but also have direct access to us. Through the community, from the very start, when we had a promise, we didn't have a product, we started building our Facebook group, and now we are thousands and thousands of very, very active people sharing their journeys, sharing their successes, hearing stories like, oh, I now can go back to running, I can now play with my grandchildren, I can now walk upstairs, I haven't been able to sleep for 2 years, I can sleep pain-free now. And in that community, people share those trials, they share their journey. And that for us is just so inspiring. We wake up to emails of thanks and gratitude, whether it's on platforms like Okendo and Trustpilot, or in the Facebook group, or just posts underneath our Instagram. So building this community of like-minded people wanting to get out of that pain, getting back to life, not accepting that I'm in pain and I can't get through this, is so important to us. And the beauty of this is it's allowing us, we work with our community to develop the product names, develop the colors of the products, to develop what are our future products going to be. And working with our product team, that's a world-class product team, we know which of our community members need which product next. And this is why it's really exciting to bring out not just our first product, but our subsequent products now, and what we're going to see in the future is going to change millions of lives. And we've set it as our target to have over 1 million people actively using our devices or have already come through pain and back into just living their best life and thriving again and really enjoying that sense of living.
And I think the third point for this, the third pillar for how we attack this problem is education. The technology, photobiomodulation or light therapy, is something that's still a little bit misunderstood or lacking understanding. And so we spend a lot of time with our medical professionals program, with our research program, with our technical team on building out a library of very accessible and approachable educational videos and blog posts. And we take a lot of these topics in from our community, as Tom's just mentioned, that really support us with a great, what frequently asked questions do we have? How can we answer their questions in a way that's both approachable and digestible by the average person, but also accurate relative to the scientific research in the space. And so we spend a ton of time on this, and we feel like this is the third pillar that really allows us to build a really strong long-term approach to bringing more and more understanding of what the technology can do, both from the medical professionals that we work with, but also, again, just from end users who want to know what's happening in my body. This seems counterintuitive that I can use light to trigger these different signaling pathways. What's actually happening here? What are the mechanisms? So providing background and mechanisms for what these mechanisms are is a really powerful tool for us to be able to keep people in maintenance for their programs over the long haul and really provide them the best outcomes in the world. I'm happy to jump in on this one because this is one of the most gratifying parts of the job to us. This is exactly why we started the business, and we see it now as we're starting to sell thousands of devices a month. The number of these testimonials coming through where it's just life-changing experiences for people. It's my wife couldn't walk up the stairs, and she can walk up the stairs. She can run up the stairs now. I haven't been able to sleep because of chronic pain the entire night through for 10 years. I've slept the last 2 months through. Thank you guys for making this product. This is what we're seeing multiple times a day now. And it's a really exciting place to be for us because it's really the fire, the fuel that fires our entire team from an internal motivation standpoint. And we love to see this. There's nothing more exciting than seeing our mission come to life and seeing our users come to life as well.
Yeah, and just to follow on from that, that's this is hearing back from our community, hearing from the soul and our purpose, hearing back from them that's actually reconfirming back to us that we're on track. And it's a great barometer for us to keep and maintain. The numbers are great. We have to be profitable as a business to reinvest, to grow the team, to bring in the world-class people, to advance new technologies, to really, we're at the forefront of science here, really exploring the edges of this. So we can use the profitability to feed that back in to make additional products. But really, when we get those emails from people saying, I bought this device, I was skeptical, how does light work to heal me? Wow, this has actually made a difference in my life. I'm back competing, I'm back doing things I love. For us, this is absolutely perfect. And when we get that from our community, we know that we're mission-led, we're mission-driven, and it helps all of our company and all of our team just be so inspired each and every day.
So to jump in on that one, I think we're a health and wellness product company for a reason. We really believe in that. And with a hugely growing team, our revenue up, kind of 8x month on month from last year, we've seen the team explode. And it can be very hectic. So we use exercise modalities in the morning to be able to help manage mental health and be able to kind of give us more energy for the days, because it's very long days and there's a lot going on. It's been very hectic. But training in the morning, ice barrel for recovery, laser therapy in the morning with my emails, and it's there's a number of different things from a kind of supplement standpoint that really help with this. But it's hectic days, and kind of an idea of how that works is we have a worldwide team now. We're covering 14 different time zones, and so really the work never stops. And there's a number of people who need answers at any given point of the time and at any given day. that really means that we're kind of working almost from when you wake up to when you put your head back down, and you have to find a way to be able to manage that from a mental health standpoint. And again, the training helps with that, but also one of the things that we've done with our team is made asynchronous meetings. So we record videos and send them back and forth for people who are on time zones that don't really fit, and we're putting things in place from a project management standpoint that really help with this. So I'd say it's been hectic, but it's a really it's a rocket ship journey where we're seeing a huge explosion of growth, and that's really driven by our community and the success and the testimonials of our product being so empowering and so effective for our users.
One of the things that's really fantastic for having a solid day, a productive day, especially when we've got a lot of things going on, a lot of different people, 14 time zones, is starting the day as best you can do. And it's not always possible, but getting that first a workout in, doing your meditation, getting your nutrition right, getting supplements, getting your liquid, really nourishing yourself, topping yourself up, really helps to build your own energy levels. And again, by the end of the day, exhausted. As Forrest has just said, these are long days. People asking questions from all over. We've got WhatsApp, we've got Slack, we've got email, with this, just many communication areas. One of the things that we built in, because we're mission driven, to improve the quality of people's lives. This isn't just about our customers. Of course it is about them, but it's also about our team, it's about ourselves. And we recruit based on this mission. So for example, we brought in Danny, who's an amazing lady based in South Africa. In the middle of our all hands meeting every month, she takes 5 or 10 minutes and we do breathing exercise. And we really enjoy it, right?
Yes, absolutely. It picks the energy back up.
Yeah.
And we find that everyone's so much more engaged because it's a long meeting and it's easy for your attention to fade off. But when you have these things where it picks your energy back up with breathing and meditation exercises in the middle of it, and it's also something that's just kind of built into the culture now. We found really good results from this. And
people are open to it.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
People really embrace it, and then they share, oh, I've found this other meditation, or I'm now doing this other training program, and they share that back. And Forrest is like, oh, that's cool, let's do it, let's do a challenge. And we've now got a challenge going.
We've got challenges for exercise, we're going to have challenges for mental health and meditation, and really just making sure that people have the energy they need to be able to get through these days, because we have world-class people in so many different places in the world, but they don't get to touch base with, and it's easy to feel like you're on an island when you're not in an office. And so we really take the time to try to reach out, connect people in as much as we can, and provide them with the tools to manage their own mental health and feel a part of a bigger team, because at the end of the day, the mission that we're achieving is a powerful one, and the testimonials and the experiences that our users are having really motivates and empowers all of us.
And I think that is inspiring our product range as well. So we started off with the neuromuscular, going into the gut, but the brain and the Calm Plus. These are exciting products that are going to allow for mental health challenges to become hopefully a thing of the past, but at least reduce that noise and reduce that distraction from really doing something you're passionate about and that you love. And if we can build that with the team, all that will overflow into our communication with our community, into our product development, into our knowledge library. So it starts with us, it starts with our team, and it spreads around the world.
Out to the world.
With this mission, with this empowerment of the community to really take control of their own health, is our goal to help and impact over 1 million active users of Kineon products worldwide within the next 5 years. It's a big mission, it's a big vision, but we believe that with our world-class team, by empowering ourselves, by empowering our community, we can achieve it together.
100%. And just to tag on a little bit on that, the accountability piece is very, very dear to our hearts as well. We want to hold ourselves accountable for moving the quality of life needle for as many people as we can. And so our future from a technology standpoint will increasingly involve sensor technology that will provide feedback loops into testing what this is actually doing on a person-to-person basis. So we'll see those start launching next year from a sensor tech implementation standpoint, but that's really going to allow us to hold ourselves accountable not just for delivering products to people, but for the experiences and the quality of life changes that they have. It's such an exciting time to be alive, and especially for us to be technologists at this point in time. It's so exciting, and I want to point out a couple of things that we're working on now that will be huge improvements over current technology and provide some major upgrades in what we can provide from a health tech standpoint. One of these is building in integrated sensors into our products. And this will include things like functional near-infrared spectroscopy for a brain unit, where we can sense metabolic function and blood flow in the brain. And that allows us to build out a very strong picture of what's happening in your brain and be able to treat a number of different neurological pathologies like major depressive disorder, general anxiety disorder, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and addiction. While we're rolling out these sensor tech pieces, we'll also be fitting them into our current products so that we can hold ourselves accountable from a measurement standpoint relative to the pain journeys that we're getting people out of. So this is a very exciting time from a technology standpoint. And just to provide a little bit of example of why from a hardware standpoint right now is the right time to, and the most exciting time in the past 50 years to be in this space. If you think about the number of things where we have sensors on our body right now, the sensor tech like plethysmography that's been around for the last 50 years, from a hardware standpoint, is very interesting, and we see behavioral changes being triggered through very strong machine learning interpretations of the data signals out of the body from companies like Whoop and Aura. The next step in this evolution is being able to use next generation components like vertical cavity surface emission lasers and single photon avalanche diodes, which are tens of thousands of times more sensitive and a higher resolution than what we see from Whoop and Aura with their plethysmography devices, which we really like, or we wouldn't be wearing them ourselves. We see the value in what's happening with the technology that exists, but we also see these new pieces coming into place that will give us a much better resolution and a much better picture. And if you think about strapping these as an array to someone's head, we're going to be able to have what amounts to a wearable MRI. And the benefits of that are enormous. We're going to be able to help people understand what their behavioral changes are, what their dietary changes are on their brain. But more importantly, we can provide light therapy transcranially and improve the outcomes for people who are in a number of different neurological pathologies. And that's not just the neurology. We can also do that from a gut treatment standpoint, from treating for fertility for women, treating for pain in many different places in the body. So it's a very exciting time for us to be in technology and be able to be at the forefront of developing these technologies like functional near-infrared spectroscopy and broadband near-infrared spectroscopy. And we're finding great partnerships around this. We're working with labs out of Harvard, Illinois Champlain, and a number of different collaborations that we'll have with different academic institutions over the coming months. Absolutely. We actually, our business partner and Tom's younger brother, who was the first person to connect us in this world, actually suffers from ulcerative colitis and irritable bowel syndrome. And what we found from looking into the literature around photobiomodulation to help him out with this was that 808 nanometer that we have built into the Move Plus was very effective at treating this. What we found by digging further into this, though, is that there are different layers of gut treatment that we could provide with different near-infrared wavelengths. And so what we've been doing since then is we've been advising, our users of the Move Plus to treat their gut, which I do every day, because two things. One is the ability to reduce inflammation and reduce the kind of the poor outcomes from pathologies like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and irritable bowel syndrome by reducing that inflammation. But the second is, even if you're healthy, treating your gut with this makes a massive impact on, oh boy, sorry, lost it there for a second. Neurotransmitters, sorry, I lost the word. Makes a massive impact on neurotransmitters. And what's not commonly known is that your gut actually creates a huge percentage of the neurotransmitters in your body, but many of them don't cross your blood-brain barrier. So how are we seeing higher levels of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine in the brain if they can't cross the blood-brain barrier? One of the ways that this is triggered is by treating the gut, and then the gut signals increasing health back to the brain by way of the vagus nerve. And so we found that some number of people who were treating their gut weren't getting these outcomes. And the reason they weren't getting these outcomes is the vagus nerve is essentially the highway between your brain and your gut. About 20% of the nerves are going from brain to gut, and about 80% are going from gut to brain. So it makes sense that these powerful outcomes for neurotransmitters are triggered by way of this vagus nerve. What we found, though, is that a number of people whose highway from the gut to brain was locked up, who are in fight or flight mode. This is sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system trigger that can really lock up the communication between your gut and your brain. So how can we help these guys increase the brain outcomes by treating their gut if that message is never going to make it through the highway to the brain? And this is how we came to start developing the Calm Plus. The Calm Plus is an electrical stimulation device that can trigger this fight or flight mode and get you out of fight or flight mode within 10 minutes of treatment. And it allows that 80% of the highway going from your gut back to your brain to take that message from your gut that you're now having increased production of a number of different healthy chemicals in the gut that actually then transfer onto the brain from a neurotransmitter standpoint. So that's how we came to start developing the Heal Plus to treat your gut. And then we found that, again, in line with our mission, that this is something that we really need to have an additional product to be able to make sure that everyone in this space gets the right outcome.
So we've decided to launch these fantastic world-class products through our IndieGoGo campaign, based on the success of our previous campaign, which generated thousands and thousands of users that are incredibly happy with our first product, the Move Plus. And the reason why we've launched it through IndieGoGo is that we build a community. We start that from day one, building around the gut health and around the vagus nerve, the Calm Plus product that we're bringing out. And we actually get to listen to our community, build a product around their feedback. It worked really well the first time.
100%.
And it's amazing. They tell us what they want, what they like, where they're going to use it. For example, Forrest talked earlier about having it with the coffee and data and habit stacking. So we can figure out from that community on IndieGoGo, when do they want to use it? Do they want to use it at night time when they're in bed, or take it to the office with them in the gym? And we talk quite a lot about, the Calm Plus, you can take it to the office, you can take it on holiday. But when we speak to the community, we really get feedback from the market. And what that allows us to do is, right out the gate, is build a product that is customer focused. Everything we're doing is making sure the customer gets that out of that pain to possible through their journey. And so building it on IndieGoGo, working with a world-class team at IndieGoGo and our agent partners and everything like this, allows us to deliver a product that's in line with our mission and in line with our customer and community requirements.
There's a number of things that we've baked in that we've learned from our 2 years of delivering products around the world, from our nearly 30,000 devices shipped, and the number of different calls that we get on every week with our customers. One of these is that even with the best treatment dosage in the world and the best outcomes in the world, even when we're taking people's pain from an 8 to a 2 within a 30-minute session, they still want to have a product that's functional and easy and convenient to use. So one of the things that we've baked in with the Heal Plus is the ability to use this and pack it and travel with it. So travel-friendly, wearable, battery-driven, rechargeable. It's something that you can build habits around on a daily basis. And that means that we can build in consistency of use, and then we can provide better outcomes from a long-term standpoint for all of our users by doing so. So one of the other things that we've noticed is most of the products on the market that are used for gut are neoprene gut wraps with LEDs in them. What we've found from our modeling on how light it distributes through tissue, and that we've built out around our tens of thousands of hours into research into this space from a dosing standpoint, is that this light from LEDs disperses in a Lambertian pattern and continues to broaden as it goes out. This isn't going to reach the depth it needs to within the physiology to be able to treat the gut effectively. So what we're doing is building in 3 separate wavelengths of infrared light that are dosed to go into different depths of tissue and trigger different photoacceptors and different downstream signaling methodologies for reducing inflammation, closing leaky gut, and really providing the best outcomes from a pain and really providing the best outcomes from pain and inflammation standpoint on a world-class level. Our Move Plus product was tested to over 10 IEC and FDA standards. We're FDA listed product, and we really take safety seriously. So our head of product, our chief technology officer, is Dr. Chris Bowler. He spent a number of years in the laser therapy and in the laser space, and so from a safety standpoint, he's really jumped in and giving us strong direction on both the regulatory piece, but also is there any use case outside of what we're anticipating where people could hurt themselves. And so we've tested this from a power density standpoint and designed it to where we don't have, even from an eye safety standpoint, we don't even have to wear glasses with this. So safety is something that we take very, very seriously and that we test to even more seriously.
We're really confident about this campaign. It's really exciting to be back on with IndieGoGo. On our first campaign, we raised over $1.5 million. And from that, which essentially was a promise, not a product, people were buying a promise, we have gone on to satisfy over 25,000 people worldwide with our first product. Rolling onto our campaign now with the Heal Plus and the Calm Plus, we are very confident that those funds are going to go into health and safety is so important for us, but also delivering a product that works, not just a nice product that looks good and feels good, but actually is effective for our community. And that's based from our mission. And as we keep referring to, we're a mission-driven company that we showed in our first campaign with IndieGoGo, and we over-delivered on that. And the next two products, we're going to over-deliver on these. One of the ways we do this is by engaging our community. So it's a combination of the community and the team and the science and the tech that we bring, and really collaborating with those funds will help us produce this world-class product.
To follow on to Tom's comments a little bit there, and just to summarize a little bit for you guys, tooling, regulatory applications, supply chain costs, engineering costs, inventory, and really the rollout of the product across our supply chain. And again, we've shown that we can do this. We've delivered more than 25,000 products to date in the last 19 months, which we're very happy with, and our customer testimonials really prove that we're delivering what we promise on. We plan to use the same model for being able to roll this out as well.